Hello everyone. Now we will discuss about two kinds of plan, that is standing plan and single use plan. So when we talk about single use plan, so it includes like programs, plans for attaining a one-time organizational goal, major undertaking that may take several years to complete, or let's say large in scope may be associated with the several projects. So example like building a new headquarters or converting all your paper files into digital. So this is considered to be a program because it is large in a scope. Now let's talk about the project. Again, it's a single use plan. Also a set of plans for attaining a one-time goal, smaller in scope and complexity than a program and shorter time horizon. So often one part of a large program. So this be called as a project. For example, like you're renovating the office or setting up a company internet. So this can be a project. Now let's talk about the standing plans. First one is policy. So it has a broad in scope, a large guide to action based on organization's overall goals and strategic plan. So basically it defines the boundary within which we need to make a decision. Example like you created a policy like drug-free workplace policies or like say sexual harassment policies. Then we have a rules. So rules are narrow in scope and that is how they get differentiated from the policy. It describes how a specific action is to be performed and basically define do's and don'ts of the any organization, and they can be applied to a specific setting. Example like no smoking rule in areas of plant where hazardous materials are stored. So this can be a rule. Then we have a procedure. So procedure can be like SOP, standing operating procedure, which define the daily procedure of operation. Then it also defines as precise series of steps to attain a certain goal. Example like procedure for issuing the refunds, procedure for handling employee grievances. Now let's discuss long-term and short-term plans. So when you decided to attend a college, you had a long-term plan in a mind. So you should spend the next 4 to 5 years preparing to become maybe a businessman or a teacher or perhaps or geologist. So or maybe have committed 2 to 3 years to become a nurse, a medical technician or an electrician. So your long-term goal was necessary to make sure that your daily activities would help you to achieve your desired outcome. So you could have just enrolled in a school and taken classes that looked interesting, but then where would you be in a 4 years? You most likely would not have taken the courses required to qualify you for a job you want. An organization, especially a business, is not so different. It's also need a long-term plans to make sure that your daily activities of your employees are contributing your organizational mission, vision, value statement. So long-term plan is always considered a very crucial thing because it defines ultimate success of the organization. Long-term plan for many businesses such as construction, hospitality or manufacturing, generally it extends from 4 to 5 years into the future. So for other faster changing industries, especially technology companies or long-term plans maybe only look 2 to 3 years into the future. After that, it becomes too difficult to predict the future with any degree of certainty. So the top level management is responsible for the long-term plan. It is up to the CEO to make sure the changing environment, whether external or internal, are reflected in the organizational long-term plan. So large and more complex the organization, the large and more complex the long-term plan will be included all the individual departments and functions. Next, we will talk about short-term planning. So it generally allocate resources for a year or less, and they may also be referred as operational plans because they are considered for daily activities and standing business operations. So like long-term plan, short-term plan must be monitored and adapted. And this is a role of basically a middle level as well as first level management. Different managerial levels are responsible for implementing different types of short-term plans. So let's take an example. A departmental manager may be comfortable implementing any operational plan for entire year for his or her department. Or let's say marketing manager may be direct a 3 to 4 month plan that involves the introduction of a new product line. So here a team leader may also be comfortable in planning and implementing various specific activities over a period of a month. So short-term plan can be of 1 month, 1 year, 6 month, 4 month, etc. Now let's discuss about the strategy. So basically this term strategy is derived from the Greek word that is strategos. That means general. So here the strategy means the art of general. When the strategy is used in a military sense, it refers to an action taken by opposite party. So it's a course of an action through which an organization tries to relate itself with its environment to develop a certain advantages which help in achieving its objectives. So here the strategy relates the firm to its environment, particularly the external environment. So here it obviously the type of a plan and the next step which is being performed after the objective. So strategy is a complete and all-inclusive plan for achieving said objectives. So strategy is a plan that has a 3 dimension. First of all, here establishing the long-term objective, then selecting the specific course of action, and then allocating the necessary resources needed for the plan. So here the formal strategy is generally referred to a top level management and actually defines all future decisions and the company's long-term scope and general direction. Okay. Now, as we discussed before, strategy is of 3 levels, that is corporate level, business level, and the functional level. And it also includes various methods of predicting and anticipating the future, like BCG metrics. And then we also have a strategic planning, which is a systematic process through which an organization agrees on and builds a commitment among key stakeholders to priorities that are necessary to make a vision, mission, and are responsible to the environment. So basically strategic planning, it includes a formulation, what, where, and vision, all the effectiveness and the risk undertaken. Next we will talk about the vision. So vision is the philosophy, and this is the first plan which a manager, top level management makes, that is a vision. So it's a philosophy and the vision of an organization are derived from a key decision makers, and it's a long-term goal which organization want to see itself. So it is the ultimate thing, the ultimate goal, ultimate aim of the organization. It is widely descriptive image of what organization want to be, and it represents the imagination of the future events and prepare the organization for the same. It helps in defining the mission, objectives, and then setting a clear and focused image. So first thing which organization do is the planning. Let's take an example of Parle-G. So their vision is to increase the number of product, then target international market, and they want to be a global company. So that's their vision is. Next is mission. Mission is the organization's purpose or a fundamental reason for existence. A mission statement helps the organization to link its activities to the needs of the society and legitimize its existence. So this statement is totally a customer oriented or like a future oriented. It depends. Like Patanjali, they have framed their mission statement like they want to reintroduce the Indian Ayurveda to crack the world attraction to our India, and to work for the welfare of humanity, and to work to make people healthy and beautiful naturally. So this all about the mission statement of the Patanjali. Next we are going to talk about is objectives. So objective is the action plan of the organization Objectives are the basis of every company and the desired result for a company's plan. So for example, objective of the organization, as we discussed, maybe like increment of sales by 20%. So here now all the activities of the organization with the end objective in a mind. They will frame all the activities according to this objective. So while framing the objective of the organization, we need to keep certain points in the mind. So these are like, first of all, objectives should be framed for a single activity in a mind. They should be result oriented, and they should not frame they must not frame any actions. They should not be vague, like they should be quantitative and measurable. They should not be unrealistic, not imaginary thing. It should be framed by the time. So how a objective should be, what are the basic feature of a good objective? So it can be like, it can be done, written, can be understood, specific, current, and flexible. So that's a basic objective. So objective need to be smart, that is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and the time framed. So that's how we need to set a objective for the organization. Okay. So in this diagram you can say the traditional objective setting. Basically here the top level management, first of all, they set their top level objective, the or objective for the entire organization, and on the basis of that objective, that objective, division manager they frame their own objective, and then departmental manager they frame their own objective, and at the last individual employee they make their own objective. So as we told, objectives are verifiable, that need to be provable. So when the end of a period, one can determine whether your objective is achieved or not achieved. So objectives are precise and used to be specified at the ends. So it should be very realistic. It cannot be imaginary thing. So here is a hierarchy of the objective. Like as you can see, the first thing is organizational objective, then divisional objective, departmental objective, and then we have the individual objective. So we can establish objective in two ways. Like one is traditional and one is modern. When we talk about the traditional view, in the traditional approach for the objective or a goal setting, it is being done by the top level management, and here the derivative objective formulated for the middle as well as the lower level. But when we talk about the modern view, so here MBO can be practiced, that is management by objectives, where not only the top level management is involved in setting up the objective, but they are inviting middle level as well as the lower level staff for developing the objective. So this was about the MBO. Now next we will talk about the policies. As we discussed before, policies are generic statements and which are basically a guide to generalize the energize towards a particular strategy. Like example, like most companies have a written policy or equipment policy or a pricing policy. Maybe a school can have a policy like they can allow only those students who scored more than 55% in their previous year. So this can be a policy. So these are the generic statement which varies from organization to organization. And policies are made across all levels of management. So from major policies at the topmost level to the minor policies. And here the manager need to form policy to help the employees to navigate a situation with a predetermined decision. So they also help employees to make decision for the unanticipated situation. And then we have a procedure. So procedure, as we discussed before, these are the stepwise guide for the routine to carry out the activities. Like making a tea, again it requires a certain procedure. In the same way, if employees want to perform their day-to-day activities, they need to follow a certain kind of a procedure. So procedure leads to uniformity and it helps for achieving the quality standards. Then we have a rules which we discussed, like a no smoking rule by the organization. So these are the do's and don'ts, and this define what action you need to take, which we need to take, and which action we need to avoid. So these rules allow for no flexibility at all. So they are something like a final which you have to follow. Then the rules, why we need rules basically, we require rules to create a discipline in the organization. So they guide the action of the behavior of all employees of the organization. Then we have our programs. So programs are an in-depth statement that outlines a company's procedure, rules, objectives, and procedure, etc. So these programs are important in implementation of all types of plan. So next is method. Method is a specific and detailed instruction of how the employee need to work on a planned procedure. So basically, if we need to differentiate between the procedure and the method, so procedure is something like for a long-term thing, and the method is for a daily routine things, for a daily routine jobs. So it gives a clear instruction to the employees and remove all the confusion, and it ensures the uniformity in the action of the employees. So it standardizes the routine job and act as an overall guide for employees and the manager. Now we will talk about the budget. Budget is again a plan, a type of a plan, which is a statement of expected result a manager expect from the company. So budget has to be in a quantitative form. So it need to be expressed in a numerical terms. A budget is quantify the future or forecast the action of the organization, and they are of many types of budget a manager can make. So it can be like a cash budgets, then it can be a machine budget. So these are the different kind of a budgets which organization make in the organization. So that's all about the types of plans and the planning process and the planning features. Thank you so much.